It's very common for coaches, for people sharing information who are even trying to support law firms to be really focused on just one area of what I consider the overall triangle of functionality or triangle of success for law firms. And that really is looking at marketing, operations, and finance. And with this triangle, each one of the parts is really, really important. Now, chances are everyone's going to have some type of bias. Like I have a marketing bias. I am absolutely willing to admit the fact that I think that marketing is the primary, because if you're not getting the clients, I don't care how good your services are or how well organized your spreadsheets might be or great your tracking may be or how well you can read a P&L. If you're not getting the clients, those things don't matter quite as much. So I have a marketing bias. However, I think that people who are so focused on that marketing as a way to solve every single problem and tend to be dismissive of the other spaces. Oftentimes marketing gets a little dismissive of finance because finance is where the accountants live, and the accountants can be the bean counters, and the bean counters can be about just profit margin. It's get clients for the least amount of money possible on cost of acquisition, which is an okay strategy. But the truth is as Dan Kennedy has often said, the person who can spend the most to acquire a client will win the marketing game. If you can spend the most, you can blanket the community and acquire way more clients. Now, again, there's my marketing bias showing that I immediately want to dive down there. But marketing is supposed to bring in clients so that way operations can do its job and be great and be efficient and hire awesome people and build systems and leverage technology. And it is important that you do that. Otherwise, marketing could do a great job and then your operations is garbage and it all falls apart, and maybe there ends up being a bar complaint that leads down the path of losing your license. I have seen it happen where people who are really good marketers, someone who I knew personally, he was a really good marketer, but he wasn't as great on the operations side, and he tended to ignore problems that were happening. And in the long run, it caused his license to be suspended. Like, that's devastating. We don't want that to ever happen. That's why we want to talk about marketing and operations, and we want to talk about finance, because if you're bringing in a bunch of clients and you're delivering great service, we still need to ask the fundamental question of, are you making money? Is this venture worth it? Are you making money that actually allows you to scale better, to do better marketing, have better operations? And finance can go back to the other departments and say, hey, we actually have money to invest. We have money to make things better here. We have money for growth. This is the type of thinking that a mature law firm needs to have. Yes, you are probably going to come at it from a certain bias. Most law firm owners that I work with come from an operations bias. And that's not a bad thing. It's a priority on the quality of the product, and that's a major focal point. Oftentimes you are even the delivery point of the service that you have. You're so focused, your operations being great, that you're handling a lot of it, but you're excited about the marketing. A few firm owners, very few, are finance first. That's pretty rare. Awesome to work with those folks. If you can open up a finance person's eyes to the power of marketing, the investment in it, that can actually really supercharge a practice very, very fast. And the finance discipline, coupled with the raw entrepreneurial growth strategies of marketing, sales, acquisition, and it is a superpower, but it is very rare. And then there are a good number of firm owners who come with a marketing bias, right? They're excited about acquiring clients. They really see acquiring clients as a very important part of the practice, but the majority are usually operations. And what we have to do is observe all three phases of your firm, respect them equally. So beware if someone is telling you, oh, the only thing that you need to do is solve your marketing. The only thing you need to do is have systems. The only thing you need to do is run your numbers. Like, there's no one solution to this. It's the three operating together. And where you put your energy is where you will see the improvement. And you're going to find over time that you have to cycle between these different parts of the triangle and continue to improve them over time. And ideally, you start to hire people to replace you in different areas of the practice, so you can focus more and more on the areas that need your attention most, or the higher level work within one of those categories where you can have the most impact. That's how we grow a really magnificent firm that has a chief entrepreneur, you, at the head of it, rather than a firm that's kind of chasing whatever is the big problem that you think needs to be addressed or you've been convinced needs to be addressed by these really powerful and persuasive people. Instead, we're going to do all the things. We're going to focus on all of it. And that's what we do within the Law Firm Alchemy programs. That's what we do within Catalyst, is we pay attention to all of these parts of the practice and how they work with each other. So that way you stay ahead of what you need to know, not merely addressing the problems as they pop up. I don't want you playing whack-a-mole in your practice. I want you to be proactive, not reactive in your law firm. If that excites you, Catalyst is an amazing place for you to be, for us to interact, for us to grow your firm together. But be observant of the marketing, operations, finance triangle in its totality, and don't just think it's only one piece that you have to solve.